Me ma call about my story talk show. Me di Eddie Ohemaa Sarah. Deche hima ba kupe. Matnasi. Oba papa. Ma jima kunya. Na mitnasi na me jima kunya. Unim se ya ade ba kupe. Eye my story talk show. Ena ye di ebreo. Ye boni de pa. Ya piti ni pa. Se nyame ya adoma ye ni opening kesi bi betnasi. Ni na twetwe na brabo mu nkomo pa na nyame ama ye ho akwinja ene a ye ne no ba betwetwe na brabo mu nkomo openi amika na semi ni din e Mr. Emmanuel Quaye ono no ye founder of Taste of Ghana and osan ye member of GCAO Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario hanu say ono na nemenya no a me ne ba betwetwe nkomo. He's a father, and then he's a married man, and then he is doing so well in the community. Mr. Emmanuel Quaye, Memo Baba, my story talk show.
Oh, thank you.
How are you?
I'm well.
How is life?
Life is good.
How are you doing? How is it going? Family, home, work?
Well, family, homework, everything.
Yeah.
And I just finished church. Today is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers there.
Happy Father's Day to all fathers. We love you. We love you all. Papa, Yenshe, how did you start back home? How was life when you start back home with the family? Just tell me about how you start.
Oh yeah, so I have a big family, but same mother, same father.
Okay.
We are in the family of 12, and I'm the third in place. Yeah. So just fast forward, I went to Accra Academy, and after secondary school, I continued my post education in England, where I went to Tottenham College, and I did licensure in business management, and then from there I migrated to Canada.
Wow. So which year did you migrate to Canada?
I have been here since 1992.
Hey, and so Papa, tell me, brief me about how was Canada at that time in 1992?
Yeah, Canada then was it was just going with all this influx of international students.
Okay.
Because I remember I was also studying at U of T Scarborough.
Yeah.
So we have a whole bunch of us that get together because they were in that community relationship in Canada. It's just the cluster of people that are in your groups that you know. So we were looking at every weekend just maybe going out and having a little bit of relief, fun, after studying in school and stuff like that. And with that we go to various restaurants and places, and we realize that the African community or even the Ghanaian community is underserved in terms of restaurants because there's no cultural foods in these places.
Okay.
Except we have one Bukom restaurant by Batters and Wilson that we used to go, and also sometimes we'll go to Mama T's restaurant on Abiam Road.
Right.
And so those are the two places, and we always have to travel to come to those places, so we can have our cultural food that we so crave for.
Yeah. So back home in Ghana, you didn't have much experience back home in Ghana, right?
Right.
How old were you when you traveled to the United States? UK?
I was around 22, going 23, and I remember it was my birthday in August 86. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to England.
Okay, so you didn't have much experience. I wanted to, ask this question. Back home, when we were in school,
right?
Sometimes they have to homo you. I just wanted to find out how was it here. Did you experience that? Like a homos night, entertainment night, this.
No, you're right. And like back home in Accra Academy, we have entertainment night, and I did something that was, out of the school because I know there was this technical they call life technical. They are somewhere around Zongole area to Mokola area. They have this huge life technical equipment. Those days you have VHS and those videos and stuff, and the big screen just came out, the big screen TV. So I brought it to Accra Academy. I went there and I told them, listen, this is going to be good for entertainment. They said, well, they can't travel with this. Just had it from England. It's delicate. And I said, listen, If I have this in Accra Academy, guess what? We're gonna invite Achimota, we're gonna invite St. Mary's, Aquinas, and WAS, all the schools in Accra, and say we're having a fanfare entertainment night. And the guy said, okay, maybe we should speak with the manager. So we have that conversation. He said he has his son in Accra Academy too. So they brought it, and it was fun, you know.
So what's the difference? Can you tell me the difference between school in back home Ghana and then school here in Canada? How's the difference?
So I would say the difference probably it could be social differences and economic differences, you know, because in Ghana there's all extreme division. You know, the affluent children will always get together. Maybe even long vacations, they travel overseas to United Kingdom or to US and stuff, and you can see it's glaring that, you know, the haves and have-nots in the schools. You can see whether in boarding school or day school. But here in this country, Canada, you don't see that. It's like all inclusive and all equal. Like you can get the textbooks you can afford, and if you can't, you can always go to the library to borrow books. There's also the reference library on Yonge Street, Yonge and Bloor, where you can have authentic or, you know, reference library books that you can read from there, but they're not borrowed out, meaning they're textbooks, you know, contents, so you can read them, and you can always, you know, order them or borrow them from other locations, and they are very helpful, you know, to let you get the books that you needed to study the courses that you wanted to do. So here I would say you have more resources, and you have access to information and research that is affordable or next to nothing, you know. But back home, to have all this, I think it takes a little bit of money. So I used to go to the British Council to read at the British Council, which is a library that you could read for. So for some of us that could afford the books, until when I was going to sixth form, that's when I went to England to buy some books, because then could get the books that are not there, because the books are not everywhere, you know.
So let's say you were very young when you migrated to Canada, right? And you came here all alone by yourself, no parents, no family. How were you able to cope with you being all alone? How did you do it?
Yeah, so it's a good question, and thanks for bringing that up, because I remember when I came in from England, I've always felt lonely, and this can be crazy. This is what they call mental illness, because you come from, whether it's side hustle from school to work, you come home, and sometimes you can be talking to your TV without realizing that you're talking to TV, because you form this family on TV, because you don't have external family, because that's how isolated and lonely it could be. And I remember one day I went downtown, and I walked into the record store, you know, those days, and then I was looking through the record store, and the next door I look around, and these guys were speaking Ghana. Two guys. I was so excited. I said, "Hey, Charlie, Miliano," and then they look at me. They said, "Miliano," and then, you know, so then I started the conversation with them. But all along, I've never had the chance to speak with somebody in my local language, have my local food, you know. So I was traveling by bus, and it's lonely and cold too, and that adds to the loneliness, and it can be depressing, you know. So that in those days you could only make phone calls on with some change, you know, and this change could eat up the time. So it's not like they didn't even have many of phone calling cards, you know, the calling cards before cell phone came along. So then after you get calling cards that give you more minutes to speak with people back home. So that's how you communicate. Talking to people back home makes you more, you know, comfortable and more like sociable, relief of the stress, you know, that now, you know, you can reach people back home to keep you comfort and console you that it's gonna be okay, you make it. Other than that, I think even at till date, people coming recently, you know, newcomers, asylum seekers, refugees, they get frustrated because they don't have a place to go for information. They don't have the community to rely on.
Or educate them, right?
Or to educate them about the process. You know, that this thing takes time, and they have to be patient, because, you know, I think coming from back home, people come with all this idea that whether they have a 1-year plan or 2-year plan, you know, the world will work within it and get everything, and maybe either leave or accomplish here, you know, establish themselves here. So
okay, so how did you break through? Life is not easy here, being all alone, most especially if you are very young, like a very tender age.
Right.
And you've started life all by yourself. Nobody is here.
Right.
You have no one. I know it's going to be tough for you.
Right.
But how did you do it?
Well, like I had my sister-in-law from England who also came here. So for me, I had a little bit of family.
Okay.
Not that much, but family. So I could speak with them whilst I was in school, and when I got my first job, I could come to them and we could talk and just get together weekends.
Yeah.
So I always look forward, to visiting them on weekends, and I think they have been my source of strength, because for me, like everybody else, I didn't like this country because of the challenges, not only of the cold weather, but because of the navigation, navigating the system without any help from anywhere. You're all by yourself. But it's education that kept me grounded, that I know at the end of the day, I could get a job and then probably help out with my family.
Yeah. So, Papa, if you are advising the young ones who has been here all alone, that they have started life, they have no one, what's the message that you want to give to them, to motivate them, to inspire them, so that they'll be able to do it? Because we know that most of them, they have ended up not in a good way, because they are all alone. They don't know what to do. Like, they are facing a lot of challenges. So at the end, it doesn't speak well.
Right.
So today you have the chance, speaking to the young ones, speaking to a lot of people who wants to, they are looking at you, how you were able to break through, how you were able to do it. What message do you have for them?
So first of all, I think they have to stay focused on their education, or whatever their passion and skill set is. They should try and enhance that in this part of the world, because Canada always have to go with documentation and credentials. And for you to secure a job that will pay you well, you have to be able to qualify. So when you come in initially, probably you might not have the funds. So whatever job you're doing right now, just focus on your major job, your dream job.
Right.
Like they say, don't quit your day job, but keep your dream job and keep working at it. And like we all say, knowledge is power. So get all the education you needed and all the research you can do on what you needed to do to get ahead.
Yeah.
So that's what I invite our advice young folks, and like, make good friends. And for me, we have come this far, and through what I've gone through, that is why we have the Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario, to be able to help these young individuals, whether mitigate violence and also reduce aggression, because people get angry at society because they're not getting what they wanted in life, and sometimes they blame everybody except themselves. But I'm not saying that people should blame themselves. I'm saying that when you find yourself in certain situation, you just have to be calm, and then consult with the support system that we have in the GCO, which is the Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario, also alias Ghana Union. We are there to help with resources and to support our young adults to be able, they can thrive in the system, if not even beyond survive. They can thrive, and we've done it, and we have testimonies from others. So we encourage them to come and also to stay focused, because that's the only way they can succeed in this country.
Thank you, Mr. Quaye. Mini Mr. Quaye, Emmanuel Quaye, and na echichi na brabo monkomo ewo My Story Talk Show. No ye founder of Taste of Ghana, Samsi a member ewo Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario. Yera Mr. Emmanuel Diodu ono na oda no na me de me sponsors a time echi na me to me de My Story Talk Show ebro tuja me wo Destiny Foundation Prayer Ministry International omo wo Canada, Toronto here, omo aha no omo wo founder oda no ni din the Archbishop Charles Kofi Nyame ono no ye founder oda Destiny Foundation Prayer Ministry International no omo wo activities omo ye ewo aha activities omo ye Wednesdays prayers and Saturdays prayers 7 p.m. pepepe Ubetinya join na wa bompaye na wa hwedia ekoso na omo wo WhatsApp line. You can join the WhatsApp line. They are not praying, they are not doing anything, just listen to testimonies that is coming every day. If you have interest to join their WhatsApp, you can join with this number plus 438 4830238 438 4830238. Na papa na odano no Archbishop Charles Kofi Nyame ono ankasa ni personal contact na me de to ha no se o pese o friend no na oni ni twetwe nkomo se problem bi ikoso se bibi ikoso na wonti asia obetumi a contact Archbishop Charles Kofi Nyame ewo plus 437 423 7473 plus 437 423 7473. Destiny Foundation Prayer Ministry International. Omo wa he ya kai say who story now person woni share a story to motivate and then also inspire others. You can email me toronto.mystorytalkshow@gmail.com. We'll read you your story, get in touch with you, then we sit down with you and then you share your story with us. And mini opening kesia Edi Mr. Emmanuel Quaye, ono no ye founder of Taste of Ghana. And ye pese ye hu kwan of fast or the Taste of Ghana ye na ye pese iti na brabo hu nsemo kakra. Mr. Emmanuel Quaye, welcome once again to my story talk show. Mr. Emmanuel Quaye, let's see, so after school, everything here, then you were able to stand on your feet, you were able to break through. And then, how was life? How was it going?
Life was good, because now I have had children who have done university and they are working now.
So after schooling, you got married and then you have your kids.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then life was good. Okay, so I know that you are the founder of Taste of Ghana, right? So what inspired you?
Oh, yeah, like I said earlier, you know, it's been a challenge, looking for, our local food. Well, when I came here, I was fellowshipping at Fender Baptist Church.
Okay.
Somewhere in Scarborough, and sometimes we would have like potluck and all these foods. I can't see a Ghanaian dish on the menu. They have Caribbean food, and all that. So I just kept thinking that, maybe people that are cooking from their homes or people that are catering that I've heard of, we could, put them together. And the chefs, there are a lot of chefs downtown, high-end restaurants that are Ghanaians, so we could bring all of them together to network so that way we can expose our own cultural foods to our larger Ghanaian community.
Okay, so Taste of Ghana, is it a restaurant or it's just an annual event program?
Yeah, it's an annual event program, just like we have the Taste of the Danforth, Taste of Little Italy.
So it's an annual event.
Yeah, so it's an annual event.
Okay. But do you know how to cook?
Oh, that's a good question. Because my sister-in-law always told me I can't even boil water. So, yeah.
So how did you come up with this that you were able to, break through with a Taste of Ghana?
Well, Philomena, my spouse, is a good cook. And I get all this kind of my favorite dish.
Thank you.
So, and I've always thought that, there are also other African caterers out there, and there are restaurants out there, but it's all like in isolation, right? So, how can we have all of them under one umbrella so they can network? Because not all of them are doing gourmet. Not all of them is doing jollof or wache. So let's say someone comes to your restaurant and you make jollof, wache, and PC, and they're looking for where do they go? Maybe you don't know. You said, I don't make that, and I can't recommend.
So which one is your favorite?
Oh, my favorite. That's a good question. It's kinky and fried.
Hey,
yeah, you're Dubai. Yeah.
Komi kekena.
Absolutely. Yeah. With the pakushito, don't forget that. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll add the pakushito.
Yeah.
Right. So, what is the organization stands for?
Well, it stands for the umbrella of caterers.
Okay.
Yeah, caterers and restaurants. We represent them under one umbrella to be able to promote them and have them expose their products. You know, right now the Ghanaian companies, you know, here that has linked with Ghana, you know, in terms of spices or some snacks that they wanted to bring into Canada. But there's a lot of bureaucracy. So as Taste of Ghana, and with all these restaurants and entrepreneurs, we can try to lobby the government so they can get access to this international market here in North America. Yeah, so that's one of the purposes.
Okay, so as a former chairman of Ghana Dangbe and the Scarborough Soccer chairman, right? How have your leadership roles shaped your community building efforts?
Yeah, so I was the chairman for the Scarborough Soccer Club, and during that time, I realized that, like you said, the newcomers, young adults to this country, they were looking for a way to socialize, you know, and most of them are just weekends. There's not much place to go except maybe outdoor and christening, and so we started to say, okay, we've hibernated during the winter time. In the summertime, spring, summer, we have to come out and just get some exercise. They needed exercise, so we started the Scarborough Soccer Club, and this brought a lot of young adults together. Not only them, their parents follow suit just to come and socialize
support
them as well. So I was thinking, and I called some of my associates, the leaders, to say, why don't we put this together in a constructive way? Just put into teams and have the young adults be the team captains, you know, so they can take leadership roles, whether they are looking after the jerseys, whether they are, you know, conducting the barbecue organization stuff. And that's how, you know, we put them into leadership roles, because they have these skills and talents that we need to explore and develop, so they can also take up the reins when we are not there, you know. So that's how, you know, it begins with. In the Ghana Dangbe Association, when I was the president, we started, it was a revive, because the previous administration, they just, you know, people travel away, and so we revived the Ghana Dangbe Association of Toronto. And then the first thing we wanted to do is to just announce that this is happening right now. And what we did was, we have a couple of meetings, and then we have the Ohemaa Festival.
Okay.
Yeah, just to showcase the Ghana traditions and culture and bring everybody together. And from there on, we started this leadership role of interconnecting Ghana Toronto, and creating Ghana International, which is a GDI, and I was the vice president of the GDI, which is Canada, US, and EU, you know, in Europe. So we put that together, and I think all these experiences, not only from the parks, the park is, when you look at the field itself, it's not just a field. It's a place where people can congregate. It's a place that they grow food. They grow food as farmers do grow from the farms, right? So from the farms to the crops, you know, to your table, your kitchen table, it's all part of some things that you have to look at carefully and interweave them and bring people together, because at the end of the day, it's people that are going to transport and convey these ideas, you know, to create the craft of food culture that today we get to enjoy a taste of Ghana.
So how was the first experience for the Taste of Ghana?
It was a good experience. I was highly motivated by everybody that came. They liked what they saw. There were a few challenges, and after we collected the data and the feedback, you know, to look at things that could be done better. And people were saying that they were wandering in the tents without knowing who is serving what. So this time we're gonna identify, you know, the tents. Let's say your favorite wache, your gobe, tuozafi here and there,
so
and people
just direct you
you to straight to what you want. And also, people were just make a comment about the pricing. That even if you have to serve a little portion, reduced portion to a price that is affordable, so people can have variety of tastes. Because at the end of the day, the purpose is to have a taste of Ghana, and then make a decision as to what you want to buy, right? So that's the essence of what we're trying to accomplish this second edition, just so that we have a moderate prices.
So the second edition is coming on which date?
Yes, coming on June 28th.
June 28th.
Yeah.
So
2025 at Downsview Park.
Good. And if there's any contact information, RSVP, which one? Can you just put it on?
Yeah, we'll put it on, so you can call Philomena at 647 391 9046.
Okay.
Yeah.
Papa, can you speak more about your passion for alliance building within the Ghanaian community?
Yeah, because I've worked in the Ghanaian community for over 25 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
for me, it's all about inclusion.
Okay.
Yeah, because we are all equal, and we need to do things together as a community. And for community to grow, you need other communities' involvement. Your neighboring community will have information that you don't have, right? So we need to align with them. And we have aligned with the Uganda community, and the Rwanda community, the Kenyan community, and also we have the Somalians, the Eritreans, and I also represent Ghana on the African Canadian Social Development Council, which is a bunch of African leaders that come together to align to see what the needs of the community members are, so we can able to customize that to suit the African needs in the GTA.
Right. So, what are you doing to help the new ones, the upcoming ones, to support them, their needs? What are you people doing to support them?
Yeah, and I realized that for us to succeed, be successful, that this is success, we have to be able to support our newcomers, whether they are refugees, whether they are students, even people in crisis.
Right.
And this is why we have built a hub that we inaugurated a few years back. So this, whether even you're having immigration challenges or you even need to fill a visa application.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the 65 male hub, which is the Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario hub. So you can come over there and we'll give you the need that you needed, whatever support you wanted. We have resources there. And recently we're also trying to get a bigger space.
Right.
So we are loving the 3 levels of government. I work with the MP Judy Scroll and also MPP Tom Rako and the councillor who is Anthony Peruza and also the trustee Matthias Didvortis. We work with all of them, and I'm also the civic engagement individual to contact. So I work with them so we can see the needs of our community and then provide the resources for our newcomers or even those who have been here for the longest time and having, whether it's accommodation challenges or even food challenges. We have the food bank too as well to help ourselves, because that is what Canada is about. It's communities helping each other communities. So we have developed all these resources and strategies to make sure our people are safe in a space that they feel comfortable and respectful.
Right.
Mr. Quaye,
so in life, personally, what have you learned? What have life taught you yourself? That have you learned that you think that you want to share with all the listeners and the our viewers as well?
I would just say that from a personal level of faith, that we as humans, we can always do what is possible, and then let the impossible rest with God, because when you look at Mark 9:23, it says that anything is possible if you believe. So I believe in possibilities, and it's not that just possibilities without challenges, because challenges will come, but you don't go over it, you don't go around it, you have to go through it. And these challenges have lessons to be learned, and lessons to teach you. Most of the time people are just praying, God, no, I don't want to face this, let this go away, let this go away. But maybe God is bringing that to you to teach you a lesson. If you go through that, it makes you a better person, because it's not breaking you. And with God, like I said, all things are possible. So you always have to be patient. You have to be patient and focus on what the big picture thinking and what you want to accomplish. And take the challenges as constructive way of teaching you lessons, because everybody makes mistakes, but you have to learn from it and move forward.
Okay. Thank you. So share my story talk show with Ohemaa Sarah, meaning Mr. Emmanuel Quaye. He is the founder of Taste of Ghana. Nyame Adoma. So June 28, right?
Yeah, June 28.
June 28, na so mini recruit ni na so honti but what the Edru June 28, I won't enough fee, meant nephew. What's nephew, why you want dear, because that's him. I may back, Jabba could now, pa, na, my baba, dear Bianini, Made this my name is Quaye na chichi na bravo mu nkomo my story talk show na me sponsor ba kwa time echi Lorette Beauty Care omo Toronto Canada he ya omo na esese menim me makers na me hu ya fe na me betna hade my story talk show bro de bia na unye bi wo hwe Lorette home service inti sa opeso be fie na obesisi winning ebia akọ function bi eba be call Taste of Ghana you betumi contact Lorette Beauty Care na we see winning but what dey say Taste of Ghana when you who free mu obetumi reach Lorette Beauty Care ewo +437 655 2238 +437 655 2238 and I'm Gel Matte Fabrics omo location ewo Tema Community 25 near Bediako. No they deal in all kinds of fabrics and starting from kente, woodin, GTP fabrics bia openo obisa omo ambetumi aye packaging nice one omo dia brel opeso omo pam so omo be pam no omo dia brel obetumi contact Gel Matte Fabrics ewo +233 243 203038 +233 243 203038 Gel Matte Fabrics hwehwe omuchi akwan mini Mr. Emmanuel Quaye na etwetwe na brabo mu nkomo no ye founder of Taste of Ghana and osanso peni ewo GCO ye member wo ho osanso peni ewo former chairman of Ghana Dangbe soccer friend is chairman or no na oda no to say papa we di edwuma bebre ewo ekromu hanu say papa how do you see Taste of Ghana interactive evolving in the next 5 years?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Because given what we've seen with the first inaugural event that we had, the turnout was great. It was highly successful. So in the next 5 years, we are hoping to, align with the Ghana marketing board to be able to bring some spices and snacks so they can have access to the market here and to have our products on the supermarkets, the major supermarkets. So that is the 5-year vision that we are looking at, and we want to grow and get better too. And also the community here with the restaurants and the caterers and also the chefs. We want them to expand. And already we've had testimonies from some of them saying that. And this lady called me and it was very heartwarming when she said she used to cook at home and bring it to a church community and sell, and they give her some money. But when she came to Taste of Ghana last year, now she just gave business cards out, and now she's getting calls all over the place.
Wow.
So I was very touched because she has 2 kids and she's a single mom, and this has opened an opportunity for her to get some more business. So that is the essence of what we're trying to do, is to get all our restaurants and businesses together. Entrepreneurs also come around to see how they can have them respond in whether they are catering for big events, wedding and other stuff. So yeah, we're growing and getting better. So
is there any specialties that we should expect for Taste of Ghana?
Yeah, we want to keep most of the things as surprise, but we have some city officials that are coming.
Oh, wow.
And also, I have seen a little of these pastries that says Taste of Ghana. So I would say just look for that. That's a special souvenir treat.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Quaye, what challenge have you faced whilst working to unite Ghanaian businesses under one umbrella?
Yeah, like I said, I think I take challenges as constructive, criticism and opportunities to reach out to people. When you whatever you try to introduce on this planet, the people you approach will just wonder because they don't get your vision. So you have to be patient and just explain it step by step so they could get it. So for this entrepreneurship to bring them along and have them share these ideas and be passionate about it, I need to explain that it's a short-term pain for a long-term gain. That at the end of the day, we are going to benefit and grow the businesses that we're trying to initiate here. So they realize that this is not a sort of high risk, given everything that I explained. that is beneficial. And it's a win-win situation. So I'm always patient. I need to argue, because when you have trust of people and they depend on you, you always have to listen.
Okay.
You listen, and then you can interact and find a common ground to move forward.
Okay. So with the taste of Ghana, would there be any African display, our cultural dance or something?
Yeah, it's all about Ghana.
Okay.
There might be a little tweaks of African.
It's not about food.
Oh,
it's all about
it's taste of Ghana. That's food, no doubt about it. That is the whole concept.
Yeah.
That is the purpose. But we have entertainment,
right?
For people to you can just eat, and you know how to get, so you can shake it off a little bit, lose some calories, lose some pounds, whatever you may say. Yeah, and also we have entertainment for the children. So there'll be bouncy castle, for the children to play around in it, and also there will be African performance. I don't know if I should mention names and leave some out.
You can.
Mr. Harrison. With the Mokope, he was there last year.
Okay.
He plays the cultural drums and have orchestra too. But they play these old classics and last time the seniors were really enjoying it.
Wow.
Because this brings back profound memories when you hear some music. And same with the taste of Ghana. I've heard people saying that, seeing this food brings about all my mother's kitchen.
Wow.
And tasting this reminds me of this recipe. So it's a way to interact and have conversations about food and Ghana entertainment. This is the home away from home where we can socialize. We hibernate in winter. It's summertime. Let's have fun. So come to Taste of Ghana and let's enjoy.
So Taste of Ghana is all about fun. It's all about Africa. Come and look at taste Ghana, taste Africa, everything. I know there's going to be a great expectation that we are expecting for Taste of Ghana. Mini Mr. Emmanuel Quaye and Echichi and Komona and Wama my story talk show. So I am there. Mr. Quaye, what advice would you give to your younger generations about leadership and giving back to their community?
Yeah, so like we started by talking about, when you start out in this part of the country without family, you feel a little lonely and isolated. But there have been people who have gone through the same process,
right? And
they've gotten to build relationships and families and a community. So it's just reciprocal, that you could give back. So it's not only a duty to give back, but it's also an honor, for those who've been there before you. When you get to that stage. And also it's a way to encourage and persuade those who are coming after you and the children of tomorrow to give back. So together we can build a community that we can all be proud of.
Okay. Mr. Quaye, there's a lot of people who have a lot of potentials in them, but then they don't know how to go about it. They don't know how to, rise up and pursue that. What advice do you have for them?
Yeah, so it's all about community building and involvement. We are always looking for such skills and talents to be able to develop our community. So if you Google or make a contact to the GCA with the Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario, if you are able to contact them, there's a lot of things that you can do with community. We all started by volunteering, and then through the volunteering, we support you with the resources that you need. To be able to pursue your passion or your dream. So that's what we are there for, to be able to have our young adults and our future leaders to come in. So we can all together build this community that's a home away from home that we can be proud of. So we encourage them to come, and we'll support them in any passion or potentials that they want to pursue.
Mr. Quaye, being a member of the Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario, what should we expect in the next 5 years from Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario?
Yeah, so in the next 5 years, we are planning to have our own space.
Okay.
Yeah, which is Ghanaian Canadian owned, space. And we've gone through the process from initial feasibility studies. We've gone to the government. We've seen the Canada lands in Downsview. They're about to build a community African village by Downsview area. for the whole the African community. So I think within the next 5 years, we should be able to have our own space.
Right.
You know, that when you land in Canada, you can come and it's like a one-stop shop to get anything you needed. You know, this place also is not just a recreational space or place for computers and learning. We also have residences above it, meaning, you know, even if you are here temporarily, we can accommodate you. And for seniors that are having challenges, we have spaces for them. What that means is, you know, we want to link, you know, bridge the gap between the young and the old. So so those who have been here before can advise those who are arriving. You know, so they know how to navigate, and that makes their challenging easier. So that's the concept.
Makes it easier. Thank you, Mr. Quaye. Mr. Quaye, how has your experience as a community leader influenced your approach to entrepreneurship?
So as a community leader, I've always been dealing with other businesses. Whether we are negotiating to get vendors, because we have fundraising for the Community and Heritage Center, of which I'm the chairperson for the Ghanaian Canadian Community and Heritage and Resource Center. I'm the chairperson of the Ghana Union. And what that means is we are raising funds, whether for seed money to generate in our own community, because like I said, we have aligned with other communities that have given us strategic, you know, ways of being able to lobby the government. But before government can give you funds for anything, you should be able to have some funds. And our community has been very great, you know, in coming forth and helping. So, you know, as an entrepreneur in that leadership role, I try to negotiate with other community members, whether we are purchasing tents or for events or chairs for events. We try to bring our own community members, you know, and then we talk to them and see what they can do to help, you know, and we negotiate a fair price. And they are always, you know, like more than willing to help, you know.
So I'm coming back to Taste of Ghana. Taste of Ghana, let's say someone is coming, and I know there will be a vendors, right? And coming, let's say, let me use myself as an example. I'm coming, I don't have money to, you know, afford food or something. Is there anything that I can, you know, taste it as a free something?
And that's what it's all about, is Taste of Ghana. So we have the Taste of Ghana booth. Which is an information center for anybody that has questions, like you say. You know, we have coupons because State of Ghana have been supported by Beck, you know, the Beck Taxi of Toronto. And we have Holy Raw, which is a company that is a Ghanaian lady. She's pretty good. Cassandra has done a good job. She done shampoos with the black soap, and she hand sanitizers and shea butter. Mocha shea butter with a chocolate kind of them. So she's also supporting Taste of Ghana. And we have Anita's Real Estate that is supporting Taste of Ghana. And we have one lady from Ghana too that's supporting, she does the black soap liquid, like concentrate form. Liquid, the concentrate kind, and it's in a liquid form that when you pour a letter, you can wash it with her. But she's in Ghana, and she's also supporting it. So all this information will be under Taste of Ghana booth. So once you come there and you say, listen, I wanted to taste this, I wanted to do that, and I don't have enough money, we'll give you coupons. We have we have our own $5 currencies. I didn't bring a sample. That is well crafted for Taste of Ghana. It's customized. So once you bring that to a vendor, they will tender it, you know, with whatever you want to purchase.
Taste of Ghana, is it free for everyone?
It's free admission. Free admission. Everybody can come in and just bring your spending money.
Just you know, purchase something, try something,
and that's the idea. So we can promote our own food culture.
Okay, Mr. Quaye, what impact are you most proud of so far in your journey with Taste of Ghana and Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario, GCA?
So I've done a lot of things, and I think I've impacted a few people, giving the testimonies that I've heard. But the one that I'm proud of, that I can, you know, attest to, is the, you know, accomplishing the hub, you know, having our own space. You know, it's a home away from home where people come in and they feel comfortable because you have people speaking your language. You know, you see your own culture, and you know, you feel comfortable, you know, interacting with others in your own language. You know, so to me, I think that's impactful, and I'm proud that we could accomplish that because in everywhere you travel to in this world, you need to have a safe space, an accommodation, or people you can count on to accommodate you. Once you have that, you have peace of mind without wandering. Then from there on, you can have information on how to navigate. So to me, the most impactful thing that we've accomplished that I'm proud of is the safe space that we call the hub for our Ghanaian community.
Mr. Quaye, Otichi.
Miti kakra.
Kachi wa kana mihade. Eti say there be kachi bi na mire.
Oh, say yeah, bon come over chimo.
No was there. Yeah, we did the Ohemaa Sarah. That's him and Mashada. We have Mr. Quaye pa. Mashada pa. You know Mr. Quaye and na echichi and komo. Oh no, you're founder of Taste of Ghana na. Nyami aduma Taste of Ghana baso 28th of June ya. As I me the address ni na me hu. Mr. Quaye ni nyina beto ho. Me crew ye ba ye repeat life pa wo ho. Ube hu ye she t-shirt ni ade my story talk show. Ye nyina ye ba ye free but modian say sada no wi hu hu free mo be modian say o share Ohemaa Sarah da. Is that say ma filo en share me de ne wa ba share me bra na be share me wo ho. Ni ndidi aduane ni me di ni nyina bi. Me ni Mr. Quaye be di their friend is come keke now any your friend is me Quaye chipa and na you be di your friend is me the last sponsor chat so na bomodian say when you hu free Taste of Ghana ba so bra na be experience Africa na we ni enji kakra ko Ghana cha bra na be di Ghana aduane ni bi na won so wenum ento so me wo call care home nursing agency and diagnostic center mo ne time chi na me to be my story talk show ebrel na unye bi wo share na unye bi nso tie na udi bi nso ebo bra omo wo Dansoman Junction close to Hansanic Hotel omo wo Ghana se ebia obusuani bi wo Ghana okọ Ghana na se ebia nipaduane nkoyi a omodian se obehwehwe call care home nursing agency and diagnostic center omo ebehwehwe nipadue mu ahwe se yare bi wo mu a na omo ehu ni ntem na omo achiro na akwa akosan ho yare na se ebia ukọ Ghana na se obi wo Ghana na opesa o direct ni na okọ ho a obetumi afre number we so +233 5065 1118 +233 5065 1118 call care home nursing agency and diagnostic center omo ene time echi na mitumi de my story talk show ebro pa na wunye bi wo share me name Mr. Emmanuel Quaye ono no ye founder of Taste of Ghana TOG and also a member of GCAO Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario no nande mine national say ye twetwe na brabo mu nkomo Mr. Quaye.
Yeah.
How do you want to be remembered?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be well, I've always been humble.
Okay.
Because there's always wisdom in humility, and I like to learn with people around me, like-minded people that are very ambitious and people that are realistic.
Okay.
I don't like too much talk without any action. It's meaningless. So for me, the legacy should be someone who is realistic and help build our community. So together we could be able to accomplish more as a community. Yes, I'm the community-oriented individual.
So what do you do for fun?
That's a good question. I play soccer.
You play soccer?
And I like Scrabble.
Where do you ubo? What do you ubo?
Yeah.
Hey, sir. Onemumbu.
No, I'm very careful. Yeah.
Onemumbu na.
No, I'm very careful.
Anti-philomia teacher naima. What do you ubo?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you unemu.
Yeah, I'm careful.
Oh yes,
but I'm careful.
Nice one, Papa. What are your hobbies?
Okay, so like I said, I like Scrabble.
Right.
Yeah, I like to play Scrabble, and also I like sightseeing.
Yeah.
I like to go sightseeing, and I like nature.
Like nature.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Quaye, me da se pa se me to nsafreo se bra my story talk show. One people utina obaye na before answer ye beko no. Because say o the Taste of Ghana, o the date, o the RSVP eto. wode address bibia edit so na oka bibi kakra kire yen what are you expecting Taste of Ghana?
Yes, so Taste of Ghana is happening on June 28th, 2025 at Danceview Park, which is 123 Garrett Boulevard.
Yeah.
It's in North York. And the location is the YZD location on the Airport Street there at Danceview. The time we're starting at 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Also, the phone number is, you can always call Philomena at 647-391-9046. And I would say come and have fun because it's all about Ghana, Africa, and the whole of Canada because we have city officials to come in to Taste of Ghana. So please come, especially for those of you who haven't had a taste of Ghana. This is an opportunity for you to come explore and taste variety of dishes.
Right.
So you're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Quaye. We are all looking up to you because you've been able to break through. What one piece of advice would you want to give to everyone?
I think the advice is usually the same for people who have gone through a similar process, to be able to accomplish their dream. So you don't let your dream die with you. You keep its persistence and constancy, in everything that is geared toward, what you wanted to do. So for instance, for the Taste of Ghana, we've been studying this for the longest time and contacting the right people who have the things we needed, whether they're going to be potential vendors, whether they're chefs, whether they're cooking from home, or whether people just in the entertainment with tents, or even mothers that needs, a space to have for their children or to a place to have fun. So we put all this together and we realized that with Taste of Ghana, we can be able to accomplish that. And yes, it has been a long journey to this far and we have a lot to do and our work is not done. But we encourage people to just, follow their heart and their passion. And I'm sure with all this persistence, you will accomplish your dream.
Thank you, Mr. Quaye.
No, thank you.
Thank you for coming to my Story Talk show. We are so pleased to have you here. May I say, share my Story Talk show. Nyame aduma, yebesi shia. May I say, my crowd.